Hello, I am Michael Houston, CEO, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Terry Houston, who is the founder of Houston Consulting Group and Associates. And we welcome you to our Business Empowerment Series today. We have an exciting edition.
Yes,
really excited about that. That's right.
Yes.
But before we get into it, we want to first invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can find us on YouTube at Business Empowerment Series by HCG and Associates. Just put that in. And when you come to our YouTube channel, be sure to click on the notification bell. That way you'll be notified of our upcoming editions as they're published. And invite you to go back and look at our past editions. We've had some great speakers, guests on here that will surely inspire and empower you with their stories and their business. Okay, but today we're going to get right into it. We're so excited. We have a powerhouse young lady that surely will empower and inspire you today. And that's none other than Erica Solomon, President of FIABCI USA-DC Mid-Atlantic Council. Also, she's been featured on HGTV's Get It Sold. I know we know about that. Get It Sold. That's right. That's right. And not only that, but she's been featured on an NAR international commercial, Hesitation About Going Into Real Estate Market. Okay, without further ado, we want to bring to you Erica Solomon. How are you today, Erica?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Thank you so much, Michael and Tar, for extending the invitation for me to be present on your empowerment series. I am so excited and thrilled to be a part of this empowerment series.
Oh, that's awesome, Erica. We are so excited to have you. You are such a phenomenal woman. And we're just so glad we could get just a few minutes on your calendar.
I know that's right.
So we certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule today. And without much more, we're just going to jump right in and get started, because I know many people, Erica, are wondering, well, who is FIABCI USA-DC Mid-Atlantic Council? And of course, I know, because I happen to serve under your great leadership on your board. So I get to talk to you almost on a daily basis and learn and glean from you. You're such a great mentor to me and so many others. But for those people who don't know about FIABCI, can you share a little bit about FIABCI, the organization?
Sure, absolutely. FIABCI is an acronym, and it's a French acronym for the International Real Estate Federation. FIABCI was founded in 1951 in Paris. It was created and reestablished to reunite the real estate market after World War II. FIABCI is active in over 70 countries and has 48 chapters. FIABCI's mission is to expand members' international knowledge, presence, and business through the world's leading international real estate organization, connecting real estate professionals across multiple disciplines. And that's the key, multiple disciplines. This is the only real estate or professional organization that encompasses all disciplines that touch real estate. And let me give you an example. For those people that are listening and not quite sure what all disciplines mean, anyone that touch real estate, from your commercial brokers, your residential brokers and agents, appraisers, architects, developers, wealth managers, interior designers, property managers, landscapers. If it touch real estate in any way, then FIABCI is the place where you should join to grow your business and connect with the world. It is an international platform for you to showcase your services and connect with like-minded people on a platform that is just unparalleled to any other professional organization that's out there.
Oh, wow, my goodness, wow. That is phenomenal. You're one thing you focused on, and you know, in our interactions on a daily and weekly basis, you stress the multiple disciplines and how we can glean from each other in the field of real estate and really expand our businesses globally. So, Erica, president of an organization like this, what does that, how do you get to be president of an organization like this? What are some of the things you've done in the international and global spectrum?
Well, you know, Tara, everybody's journey is different. And some people have a set agenda or roadmap as to where they're going. And my success throughout the real estate industry has kind of grown organically. And it really started, believe it or not, when I was a small child. I grew up in a family of a farmer. My grandfather was a farmer.
Wow.
I watched him. My father is an entrepreneur. His sister is an entrepreneur.
Wow.
I watched my family run their own businesses. And I was there front and center. And quite frankly, I thought it was strange that my parents and my family members and my grandfather was not going to work for another company, corporate America.
I know that's right.
And as a child, I didn't quite understand entrepreneurship, but I just, because that wasn't the norm. That what I was seeing where I grew up was parents were getting out the house 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning and headed to a corporate job. But as I was able to travel to North Carolina and be a part of the farming process, and watching my dad run a successful barbershop and entertainment business, I was intrigued with working for myself.
That's awesome.
And so fast forward, I got into real estate by way of my husband. When we were dating, he had real estate that he created a residential and commercial portfolio, and it wasn't managed. So I got through my first management experience because I was managing my own portfolio. And I did that. I'm sorry?
No,
we're listening.
This is phenomenal.
So I did that through Women's Entrepreneurs of Baltimore. And they laid the groundwork for being able to write a business plan, a viable business plan. So I wrote a viable business plan, and I opened an office incubator, which I used part of that office to actually manage, as my office to manage my real estate business. And from that, I offered up space to other entrepreneurs who were looking to have a professional presence but couldn't afford the high prices of office space. So that's how I kind of got into real estate. And then as I began to become involved at my state level association, which is Maryland Realtors and the Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors, one of my colleagues tapped me on the shoulder and says, "Erica, I need you to be a part of Women's Council of Realtors." And I said, "What is Women's Council of Realtors?" Okay, Women's Council of Realtors is an organization of industry leaders or professional women that cultivate them to become industry leaders. So, okay, it's something in me. I've always given more than the average. And whatever I did, it was always to the 10th power in terms of service and dedication.
And I see that on a daily basis. Just
So, I went through Women's Council, and I became president of our local chapter. And then from there, I went to CRS. They were knocking on my door. "We want you as a leader." And CRS. So I was on the leadership team for CRS, for the DC Washington Council. And then it just kept going and going. I just never saw myself jumping out of the ring in terms of leadership. So I went through Maryland Realtors Leadership Academy. From there, I had a conversation with a colleague, and I asked about, let me just say, I was the first African-American woman to graduate from the Maryland Realtors Leadership Academy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Erica.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's powerful.
And then from there, I kind of trickled over to the National Association of Realtors and went through their leadership program. And during that course, we was with our colleagues, a small group. There were 17 that were elected out of 200. And my colleague, Coach Yoshi, he had on a pen and it's CIPS. And I asked him, I said, Yoshi, what is that? And he says, Certified International Property Specialist, you should do it. Okay, so wrong thing. Tell me two things. One thing that I can't do, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Tell me one thing that I should do, I'm gonna do it, improve myself, right?
I like that.
So Yoshi said you should do it. Okay, so long story, I went to Canada, Toronto, Canada, and I took my CIPS course with Aziz Kanji and got my certification. And then I got involved with CIPS. And that was the onset of my global experience.
Wow, that is phenomenal. And I'll tell you, I'm just in here in amazement at the journey you just walked us through of your professional story. And, you know, I'm definitely a firm believer in the power of compounding experiences. No matter whether good experiences, challenging trials and tribulations, that every experience builds upon the previous ones that will open up doors, create new opportunities, new learning opportunities for us to get better. And I see kind of how that's and just in walking through your journey as you walked us through it, how doors were open as you went from one experience to another. So I do have to ask this, squeeze in there the whole feature on HGTV, because I'm sure that and I know our listeners would love to hear about that. You know, that's definitely a platform that, you know, you probably have a lot of visibility on, and you may be a recognizable face because a lot of people around the country, around the world watch that and know about Get It Sold. So kind of squeeze into that journey, how that experience came about and how that maybe propelled you to, you know, to the next level in your professional journey.
Well, you know, it's interesting. When I started out, as I mentioned, I really didn't have a roadmap. I was working from my heart. You know, I was spirit-led. I was doing the right thing. And the right thing is always given first.
Right.
Okay. You know, some people will ask for something before they're willing to give.
Right.
What I gave was my time. I was a volunteer with Maryland Realtors.
Right.
And I was on their the committee for their annual conference. Served on that for 6 years. I was co-chair, then I became chair of the committee. And during that tenure with volunteering at Maryland Realtors, I was approached by one of the employees, say, hey, I got a call, and there's a casting call. They're looking for someone for HGTV Get It Sold, and I think you will be perfect for it.
Wow.
I love that.
I love that.
But needless to say, okay, I'll do it.
That's right. That's right. Look, when opportunity knocks, have your bags packed, right? That's what somebody once told me.
I have my bags packed in the car now. That was a little off. But in all seriousness, I love a challenge. And the worst thing that can happen is they say no. And I'm like, okay, I'll continue on with my life. And so that's what happened. I went in audition, and they selected me. And from the first episode came a second, then a third, then a fourth, and then a fifth.
Wow.
Oh, Erica.
Of HGTV Get It Sold, and it was a wonderful experience.
I know, but I know you did a wonderful job.
I know you did.
And that is just so awesome. I mean, I'm just so amazed at all you've accomplished.
Yeah, and you know, I think what, you know, the point that I want to drive to those who are listening that have never thought about volunteering or being of service to an organization, you know, oftentimes in life, you have to be willing to help someone, help an organization with its goals and objectives so that eventually your goals and objectives will be accomplished. So the art of living is the art of giving. You have to be willing to give back to the industry, especially if you're in it for all the moral reasons.
Wow,
I love that.
Art of living is the art of giving. I like that.
You've just shared so many nuggets and tools. Just your story just resonates so much, talking, starting with your grandfather being an entrepreneur as a farmer. And it's funny, my grandfather was too.
Yes.
So we have that commonality.
Can you crop tobacco?
You know what? I cannot personally, but I know what the term means, and I know all of that because we raised that and everything as we were growing up. So
I do.
Okay.
I'm proud to say I know how to crop tobacco. Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, that is just so phenomenal. So, starting there, being, the daughter of entrepreneurs and, just the way you have your journey has kind of unfolded. Mm-hmm. Now you're here as the president of FIABCI. And what, it's so much we could ask you, but particularly for the DC Mid-Atlantic Council, what are some of your initiatives that you have with this particular council as the president?
Okay, so I'm going to kind of backpedal about 18 months ago when I was approached. I joined FIABCI in the New York chapter in 2018, November. And I joined because I was told that if you are serious about real estate on a global level, on an international level, then you must be connected with FIABCI. So a dear friend of mine, Vivian, she actually runs the Miami Council, and she's a board of directors with FIABCI USA. And she reached out to me and said, Erica, you should go to Bali, Indonesia. I said, okay, I just joined in November and they were going in December. So you know what I did, right? So yes, I bought my plane ticket.
And I know that's right. And your bag's packed, right?
I know you went.
No, that's right.
And I went and I had an amazing time. It was just amazing time to travel the world by yourself and go for an experience that you have no recollection of not recollection, but you have no idea what you're in for. But you just got a good referral. It says, go, you'll have a great time. You'll meet lots of great people. And it's a business day, annual business meeting. And I connected with some two developers that are still friends. They have become friends. They literally put me under their wing and they gave me personal tours of Bali. Wow. And one lives in Jakarta, and we're friends now still to this day. And so that was my initial onset of FIABCI. And fast forward, I was at an event in Chicago, and the Chicago Council was having an event. I packed my bags and went because I got an invitation. And so the president, the 2019 president, Kelly Bueller, approached me and two other members of the DC Mid-Atlantic Council and asked if we would be a part of the Reboot group because the DC Mid-Atlantic Council had been dormant. It fell below their required membership, so there was no activity, but there were members. And they asked us specifically to come in and re-energize, reinvigorate the DC Mid-Atlantic Council by bringing programming and events to the membership. Right. And I was a part of the Reboot group, and fast forward back in June, there was an election. The president felt as though the work that we have done and the membership that we had continued to grow was at a level that we can sustain our council again. So we had an election, and the work.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, the members saw the efforts and felt as though I was qualified to become the president of the DC Mid-Atlantic Council. So that's how I got to where I am today.
And you're more than qualified. We're so honored to have you as our president here. And I know that one of your initiatives is to bring in multiple disciplines, people and professionals from, appraisers, and for us to come together and grow the council. Do you have any particular insights as to what you're doing and what we're doing to meet that initiative?
Well, Tara, it's funny. And Michael, when you go into leadership, you come in and you look at the organization and you see where you look at the history and you look at the goals and objectives of the overall picture, and you see, okay, where have you been? Where have the council been, and where do we need to go?
Yeah.
Right.
So with that in mind, in a leadership capacity, you as president, you'll come in with a long laundry list of things. These are 10 things that I must accomplish during my term. And the reality of it is you need to probably narrow it down to maybe 3 or 4, because
Right.
in a term. And you're talking 12 months. This leadership team is a little different. It's because we started mid-year, so we have 18 months to our term.
Right.
That's not, 18 months goes by really quickly. If you're close to college, you know how fast it goes.
Right. Right.
But I took a look at what the goals and objectives are for FIABCI in general, and I kind of looked at the history. And I made a couple of points that, were well in line with what FIABCI is about. And that's having our membership be representative of all disciplines.
Got it.
That's the number one goal.
Good.
Because we have to be true to what FIABCI is and who FIABCI is.
Yes, that's true.
That's number one on the list. Number 2 on the list is to create an environment where there is supportive, where our leadership team is supportive of one another, understand what we need to do to engage our members, and continue to create good camaraderie that will just, be electrifying throughout our entire membership, where people want to show up to our webinars, to our networking happy hours, to our in-person events that we're going to be having. So I want to make sure that people feel welcome, and that's through our membership, our member orientation when a new member comes in, or even an existing member that have not had that experience. I want to create, or we have created, a platform where, we meet them. The entire leadership team is there on the Zoom to welcome them and ask them specific questions, and they ask the leadership specific questions, so that they'll know that they are fully supported, not only from the president's perspective, but the entire leadership team's perspective.
That's wonderful. That's awesome. And I know that you are the one to do it with all of your leadership experience and you're just a great role model for what you're pulling out of each of us. The give, get principle, understanding sweat equity and sacrifice. So you've already modeled that and lived that. And we're seeing the results that you've gotten as you put those principles into practice. So you're definitely an example of that. And we just appreciate all you're doing for the council.
Well, Michael and Tara, I was taught years ago that there's no I in team.
That's right.
That's what I embrace. We are a team. Everything that we do at the DC Mid-Atlantic Council is done unified. We make decisions in a unified way. We organize our meetings in a unified way. We have structure, we have order, and we have productive meetings.
All right.
It's really good to see the growth. When you bring someone to your organization and you are responsible for their growth, and you see that growth transforming in front of your eyes, it is, for me, it's very gratifying, because each one teach one. And it's always about helping someone get to the next level. And if I'm in this position, that's my goal, and that's what I'm going to do. And they also say, too much is given, much is required. So yes, I'll make a phone call 10 o'clock at night to my secretary.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Maybe 11 o'clock. Tara, you up? I'll send a text.
But it's okay, because iron sharpens iron, number one. And the thing is, you're pushing me. And so that's, like I said, I really consider you my mentor. You're pushing me because you're already doing some of the aspirations I have. So you really were a godsend to me when we connected, you know, through FIABCI, which I knew of you anyway because of your reputation and your strong leadership. But to actually meet you and you know, collaborate with you and work with you, it's really been a blessing to me.
Right.
So I just want to publicly say that. So you do call late and early, but it's okay because it's pushing me, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Can I just tell our listeners our story? It's interesting because when you join an organization such as FIABCI, the real benefit comes out of traveling. It really does. Locally, you do work, you know, with your council members and your leadership team. But the real benefit is when you get your passport and get it stamped from country to country. And although we were in the United States, I met Michael and Tara in San Francisco.
Yes, sure did.
I met them at, what was it, 13 million?
30 million.
It was
30 million.
Yeah, it was a $30 million, you know, real estate. Yeah. And FIABCI, because we were members, we had exclusive rights to be there.
Yeah.
That's where I met them. Yeah. And I will tell you, I have traveled extensively internationally. And just a quick story, I left Belgrade, Serbia, leaving a conference and headed over to Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, to meet someone. I was going to meet a client/friend, but at a dinner meeting, there were a couple other friends there of hers. And as ironic as it seemed, we grew up 2 blocks from one another and went to Kenya to meet someone that lived 2 blocks from.
Right. Wow.
And you know, the point is, with FIABCI, you never know who you're going to meet and where you're going to meet them, and they can be right in your back door.
Absolutely.
I'd say that was an amazing experience in San Francisco at the NAR convention, and just that opportunity to be in a $30 million broker open and just meet people from all around the world.
Yes.
You know, professionals. It was just, it really opened our eyes to just how global real estate is, and just how, you know, and the importance of connecting with people from all over, and what that can, the doors that it can open for you. It surely has opened doors for us, you know, in our business from a global standpoint. So,
so we just appreciate Erica, and I know we're gonna wrap up, but I did want to say that you're also the co-chair of the National Association of Realtors. Am I saying this correct? Global Committee? Is it the Global Committee?
It's the Global Business Councils Forum.
There you go, Global Business Councils Forum. But you're co-chair of a national committee. That's pretty large, a national forum. I mean, that's pretty big too. So I'm sure we look forward to hearing about some of your initiatives through that forum. And just, you know, we're just going to sit back and kind of watch you work. But
remember that, Tara, we work together.
I know.
I know that's right.
So very excited about that and all you're doing, even at Maryland Realtors. Now, one thing I wanted to say is you're bringing, and then we'll wrap up, Michael, unless you have anything else. You're the part of the committee that's bringing the Certified International Property Specialist, better known as CIPS, to the DC Metro in the fall, this fall, right?
Yes, that is correct. This will be our 3rd institute, Certified International Property Specialist Institute. It's going to be virtual this year. and it's going to be November 2nd, 4th, 6th, 9th, and 10th.
Okay.
It's going to be a trifecta in the sense that as a member of Maryland Realtors, you will get your CIPS designation once you fulfill the requirements after taking the course. So you'll get your CIPS designation. You'll have an opportunity to get your At Home with Diversity designation, certification.
Right. That's right.
That's number 2. And number 3, you get 6 hours of CE for affordable price of $225.
Wow. Yeah, that's unheard of. If
wow.
I didn't already have my CIPS on my At Home with Diversity, I would sign up again.
Absolutely.
Because, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, because that's phenomenal. I mean, to be able to get all that for $200.
And registration is open now. So if you go to Maryland Realtors website, you can click on the link for the CIPS Virtual Institute, and you can join today.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you.
But can I say this?
Sure.
Michael, I'm sorry, and I got to get this in. I know I'm probably over time, but
you're good.
I just want to shout both of you out because, you have done such an amazing job with getting your CIPS designation and going and getting the international business. If I may get the number wrong, but I'm sure I'll be corrected, but you have a listing, at least one listing in Belize, that's $125 million. Did I get that number wrong?
You got it right.
You got it.
I mean, so, when people are listening to this and they're wondering, well, how do I get started? Where's the business coming from? How do I embrace it? How do I embark upon it? You just do it.
Right.
And the business will come. I am so proud of Michael and Tara to be able to say and have an active listing from Belize. Now, it happens. When I went to Bali, Indonesia, had an opportunity to get a $4 million listing.
Wow.
Yeah, $4 million.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
I mean, and it blew my mind.
Right.
It blew my mind. One visit.
One visit.
One designation.
I love that, Erica.
Yeah, I traveled to Japan in September of last year and picked up an investor client, sold one property, have another one on the market.
Wow.
It works if you work it.
That's awesome. Your story, Erica, is just so phenomenal.
That's powerful. Some people blow smoke up the chimney, but you putting wood on the fire. I mean, because you were making it
on the fire. But when you measure your success, when people measure their success, it should be measured against their own goals, not just success.
Absolutely.
Although there's motivation behind that $125 million listing, there's motivation for me. But, I think people need to embrace their success, and success could be taking your business to the next level. Get a CIPS.
Right, absolutely.
That's true.
Join FIABCI. That's the next step. Be connected to global. And believe it or not, if you look into your database, the people that you've done business with over the years, see where they're from, where they're born, you've done international business.
Right.
True.
That is powerful. I'll tell you, this segment has just been so empowering. Erica, I know I got a lot of mental notes I got to get on paper before I forget them. I'm getting older now, so I say the thing is to put in ink, so I got to write these nuggets down. But you have surely empowered us and our audience, and I just want to say on behalf of the entire real estate industry and community, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
You've definitely been a blessing and will continue to be to all those in our industry, and even for those who are our aspiring entrepreneurs or current entrepreneurs, even in other industries. You've shared some golden nuggets that are applicable and practical to anybody who is a professional or looking to start a business or in a field where they're looking to break to the next level in their business. We appreciate your leadership. I love what you said, that there's no I in team. There's an African proverb that says, one can go quickly, but together we can go far. And so with your leadership, you're bringing people together with the organizations that you head up to take people far, not just to go quick and burn out, but to take people far in their destiny and far in their in their business and their life. And you know, it's just great to be connected with you and just to hear your story. And I know the best is yet to come, you know, with your leadership, not just for you, but for the people that you serve. And that's just awesome. So we thank you.
Thank you, Erica.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So, and again, thank you for the kind words, you know, that you shared about us as well. And so again, you know, we thank you all for tuning in to our business empowerment series. Definitely listen to this one a couple of times. I'm sure you'll pick up and share it out. You know, I'm sure somebody that you know will definitely be blessed by what Erica shared with us. So again, you can find us on Business Empowerment Series by HGTV and Associates on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so you get the notifications and go back to listen to our other segments so you'll surely be empowered. So Erica, thank you for joining us today.
Erica.
We appreciate you, and you definitely have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You as well. Take care.
Take care.